Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Hero.
And I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And this is our review of HBO's True Detective episodes 2 and 3.
Yeah, last one. So we have the
Seen Things.
Seen Things in the Locked Room.
Yeah, you were gone last week, so we're doing a 2-for-1
Right.
in this episode. So yeah, I'm still really liking this show. I like the pace that it's going, and it's a slow burn, but it's picking up. It's starting to pick up, especially with episode 3. But let's start with episode 2. You know, I mean, one of the first things, I'm sure anyone who follows me on Twitter saw my tweet about True Detective. All I wrote was, Alexandra Daddario, good God. Like,
she's
like,
looking like,
Yes, Woody Harrelson's character, Hart, his name's Hart, his mistress that he's sleeping with. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's a looker.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a looker.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, but then because of that whole like his whole mistress thing, he gets in that fight with Rust.
Yeah.
In the police locker rooms the next day, because Rust can tell. You know, Rust is a very sharp guy, even though he's kind of cuckoo.
Right.
He's very observant. He can tell that he's messing around on his wife.
Russ is an interesting guy. I like Russ because he doesn't. The only hang-up he seems to have, besides he's a little crazy, and he's got some issues obviously with his daughter who's dead, and he's got some issues with some kind of drugs. You know, with his drugs.
Yeah,
it's a weird drug addiction though. Like,
well, he went undercover, and I think he got addicted to all these drugs that he had to take, and now he's the episode named Seeing Things. He sees things. Like sometimes he gets hallucinations.
Right, which he kind of describes even further in episode 3 when he's at the bar, you know, at the line dancing place, and he can see, like, he's like, I see a color of yellow, and it gives me the sensation. So, but as crazy as he is, he doesn't sleep that much either. So he's just up all night looking at pictures and studying case files. So, like, it's funny, like, every time Woody comes in the morning, he's, like, all tired. Either he's hungover, he didn't sleep, and he's like, hey, I got something. Like every time he's in the morning, he's like, I got something, boss. I got something, you know, and it's really good. I love their relationship. It's really good.
Well, yeah, it's very tension filled because they're very different people.
Yes,
very different people, which will, you know, you see more of it in episode 3. But in episode 2, like even when they're fighting in the locker room, Russ is like, you know, I can break your arms right now.
Right.
And Woody Harrelson's character Hart, he seems to justify all the stuff, the bad stuff that he does.
He thinks he thinks he's a good guy, you know, and I mean, in the 3rd episode, he does question, you know, Matthew McConaughey says, you know, do you ever think you're a bad man? You know, and Matthew McConaughey says, no, it's like, of course, like, we're bad men, we keep the bad men away from the door, or something like that. And you know, Woody, you know, even when he's telling a story about his marriage, he's always like, you know, when you're a family man, you have responsibility. As he's, of course, you know, going to this girl's house, you know, and, you know, pushing her boyfriend, you know, on the ground and breaking doors and just being an idiot. Everything, you know, what you think a good husband should be. He's not. What I appreciate about Russ is at least Russ, even though he talks a lot of like crap and high mumbo jumbo, like blah, 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 existentialism, all that.
Well,
at least he's honest.
Well,
he's at least honest.
He's a nihilist. I mean, Rust is a nihilist, and the reason why he's a nihilist is because, you know, we learned about his kid getting, I guess, hit by a car when she, you know, and
so life
and
is all meaningless and just nothing,
because he finds no meaning in life anymore because that happened to him unjustly. He doesn't find he doesn't see well, that happened to me. I was living a good life. He was married. He wasn't doing anything. Wasn't doing anything wrong. And this horrible, horrific. It's like the worst thing that can happen to you.
Oh sure,
basically.
lose your little daughter. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, it's awful.
So he is, you know, out there and everything, you know, and he has that whole conversation in the beginning of episode 3 with Hart when they're at the church, and you know, and
he's like, could you tell me what the average age of or what the average IQ is in this room? Yeah.
So basically, he's talking down about these people, and Hart is kind of the normal one in the sense of he's like, no, you know, why do you always have to be like that? Why do you always have to like judge people? And Russ is basically he's just being Rust.
Yeah, I thought that was a great scene. Of course, you know, it's nice seeing. Let's forget his name. Let's call him Nucky's brother from Boardwalk. Eli from Boardwalk Empire. It was great seeing him. I mean,
he's been popping up everywhere. He's
everywhere.
Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle.
Right.
And now True Detective.
Yeah, he's getting some great roles, and it was great seeing him there. I mean, just a great actor, and it's just great scenes. I mean, sometimes the show's so dark. Like the comedies, you gotta it's real subtle.
It is.
It's good comedy, but it's very subtle because there's no beats. It's
sometimes it's banter back and forth between them because one of the discussions they had, it was tension filled, but it was the whole, Rust was giving Hart shit about. And he's like, oh, I'm glad you can let yourself off so easy. Because Hart justifies everything he does. Like, oh, well, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah,
he's got to, he's got to relieve the tension.
Right.
He's got to do all this, and he's basically justifying his drinking. He justifies his extramarital affair and stuff like that. And Rust is like, look, man, you gotta, You can't use those as excuses.
No. I mean, Rust, like I said, I think he is the most honest of the two, at least at this point. I want to know what happened to Rust's character to make him, I guess, go off the deep end. It seems like he's almost given up on life. Like, I don't know what his job is now, but I'm assuming he's not a detective anymore. It looks like Woody Harrelson's character, which is interesting to see. Probably not married anymore. Remember, he was thinking about his wife, and you see him do this with his left hand, and he doesn't have the wedding ring on anymore. But what happened to Russ? I wonder what happened to him to drive him away from him. Maybe he just had enough. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Or he got kicked off. I mean, he's a person that no one likes him. Even though he does good work, he doesn't get along. He doesn't follow the policeman's code and the brotherhood and everything that. So I could see him easily getting booted out, especially if he has a split, which they've basically said, from Hart. If Russ and Hart aren't friends anymore, and Hart was kind of the one keeping him still in it.
It was like, I think they were together for 7 years, so I'll be curious to see how far they show us into that relationship.
I'm sure they get closer and closer and then eventually fall. I mean, another funny scene was the one where Hart comes home and he sees that Rust has been mowing his lawn.
Right, he's like, I just don't want you mowing my grass.
I like my lawn. I want to mow my lawn.
I love the conversations between Matthew McConaughey and Michelle Monaghan's character. I really like their dialogue. It's interesting because they're both characters who are kind of, I guess, I want to call them on the fringes a little bit because she's not really in the best relationship right now with her husband, and Russ has issues missing his daughter. He always kind of stares longingly at the two girls.
Well, he misses his life.
Daughter. Yeah, he misses his life.
He sees Michelle Monaghan, and he sees he's attracted to her. Oh, this could be my life. She could be my wife.
Right.
These could be my two kids, type of thing. And I think he holds that against Hart
because he's not appreciating that.
Yeah,
he's out cheating on her and all that stuff.
Exactly, not spending time with them, and then I think Hart's smart enough to realize there is some sort of kind of chemistry between his wife and Rust.
I also thought it was great. This is kind of a small scene, but I love it when they show Rust dancing with the girl. He's good. The girl's having a good time, but you can see his eyes. He's just not there.
No.
He doesn't care. He's he dropped her off. He said goodbye. He said he walked her to the door. He was respectful and nice about it, but he's just not there in the moment emotionally. It almost seems like he has nothing left to give emotionally.
And we talked about this in the first episode. This is a cop show. There's a serial killer, but really it's mainly about these two characters.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of just character moments.
Right.
The plot of the whole case that they're on develops kind of slowly. We have them going to that trailer with the runaway girl / prostitutes where Hart kind of gets uppity in a way.
Again, he gets uppity. Oh, these girls are doing this. It's come on, man. It's you're basically, I mean, the girl's not a prostitute that he's sleeping with, but still, it's come on, man. It's
well, she's younger
yeah,
and whatnot, but he's really upset about this. And then, through their diary, that's where they find that church with the painting on it, with the antlers, and they're like, okay, there's something, there's something here. Right. Someone here that was part of this church or part of this organization or attended it is part of this whole ritualistic killing.
And now at the end of episode 3, I love how they set it up because before you see the guy with the gas mask and the underwear, I like that he's talking about in the interview, Woody Harrelson's talking about a gunfight. He's like, wait, you want to talk about the gunfight, and all this stuff? He's like, how can? He's like, you guys ever been in a gunfight? Did they get fired your gun? They're like, no. And I was like, well, how can I talk about a gunfight? So we know we're gonna see some type of shootout next week. we know what's gonna happen. So I'm excited. That was a great way to end the episode, just seeing that crazy looking dude with a gas mask. And
yeah, because they were chasing
underwear.
a bunch of different leads, and this is the one that seems to have panned out.
This guy looks crazy.
And
yeah, I wonder if he is the tall guy with the scar. We don't know.
know.
Yeah, he had a mask.
We'll find out in the next episodes. Yeah, so I'm really liking how this show's going.
Yeah.
Great acting, great directing, great writing. Yeah, it can be slow, but it's I'm fine with it. It's like Boardwalk, where it's
Boardwalk,
it's going at its pace and
Right.
it's building everything up.
Right, and for those of you who've seen it, Dennis, you watched a little bit of it, Top of the Lake's the same way. These you can call them miniseries in a way, because this is going to be like...
Well, True Detective is going to be like an anthology.
It's going to be in the miniseries category in the award show, because it's going to, like American Horror Story.
Yes,
it's gonna
this story's going to end,
Right.
and they're going to change stories, change actors,
Right.
change everything. So.
It's a great idea, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really liking it. Let us know what you thought. You can post your comments below on the website, thinkhero.com, or on our YouTube page, Think Hero Pro. Make sure you subscribe to that.
We're also on Twitter if you want to chat with Dennis, myself, Michael. Chat with us about True Detective, other HBO shows. Anybody watching Girls out there? I like Girls. You can find us at Think Hero. I'm at Griffin DE.
And we also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Make sure you like that page and share our videos on Twitter, Facebook, and other social media.